front of this Fort Worth home.
It's just horrific. I'm speechless.
Neighbors heard the gunshots along Steel Dust Drive, where police say an unknown number of suspects drove up to this blue house, fired at the front yard, shooting 3 underage children, killing 2 of them. The suspects took off. Police say a motive is still unclear.
What I heard is I just can hear the mom just screaming for her child in the background.
Police say a 17-year-old boy and a 5-year-old boy were shot and killed. An 18-month-old baby boy was injured, but is expected to survive.
When you have children who are murdered completely senselessly, it adds just another level to that tragedy. I think of a 17-year-old who should be looking at his senior year, graduating and starting his life. I think of a 5-year-old who should be starting kindergarten.
The deadly shooting leaves kids who live nearby shaken.
It was like, bah, 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 bah. I felt scared because I thought they were gonna come shoot the whole neighborhood up too.
He called for his grandma, who urged him to stay inside.
It's frightening. It's just frightening. You just don't know what's going to happen. You can't go anywhere. You're not safe at home. You're not safe at the store. You're not safe at church. You're not safe anywhere.
A street where kids usually roam and play became a crime scene.
What if my kid would have been right over there?
And that's the question that leaves parents scared.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy J-Mo coming back at it again with another episode of Just In News. And today we're going to be jumping into a very tragic and unfortunate story that just took place over this weekend, this past Sunday, that took the lives of 2 children. So with that being said, I would like to send out prayers, condolences, and healing energy to the friends and families of the ones who lost their lives in this situation. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and let's go ahead and jump into this video. On Sunday, August 28, 2022, around 2 p.m., an unknown number of gunmen opened fire on a group of people in a front yard, striking 3 victims. The driver fled the scene. Fort Worth Police Chief Neil Noakes stated at a news conference, a 17-year-old boy and a 5-year-old boy were fatally shot at the home of the 1800 block of Steel Dust Drive in Fort Worth, Texas. They were identified Monday as Rayshard Scott, age 5, and Jamarian Monroe, age 17. An 18-month-old was also injured, but is expected to survive. Monroe attended Saginaw, Boswell, and Watson High Schools in the Eagle Mountain School District, a spokesperson said. He last attended classes in January. At the home where the shooting happened, a white sign leaned against the front door with the words, written in pink and purple marker, "Love thy neighbor, we are here for you." The names Jamarian and Rayshard were written in small letters on the sign beneath, "Rest and Love Kings." Higher up on the door, 2 bullet holes were visible in the navy-colored wood. More bullet holes were visible in the garage door also. Residents described the neighborhood as a place where children frequently played together in the streets and yards. In October, residents held a Halloween festival in the streets where families gathered, including Rayshard's. Lauren and Tanner Patton said they often saw Rayshard and the toddler playing in the front yard together. "It's a very calm neighborhood," Lauren Patton said on Monday. "Now I'm keeping watch on every car that comes by. I'm on edge." Tanner Patton is a teacher, but he called off on Monday to stay home with his wife because she was shaken up from the shooting. Lauren Patton was at home alone, brushing her teeth when she heard the gunshots a few doors down at around 2:15 p.m. She dropped her toothbrush in the sink as she listened to more than a dozen shots outside. Some of the neighbors started to call and asked if she was okay. One of them told Lauren Patton they heard someone screaming, "They shot my child." When police started to arrive a few minutes later, Lauren Patton went to her neighbor's house. Tanner Patton had been at the Sonic when his wife called, but by the time he rushed home, the streets was completely blocked off by police, firefighters, and paramedics. They watched as the toddler who had minor injuries was taken away on a stretcher. Since the beginning of 2022, at least 17 juveniles under 18 have been fatally shot in Tarrant County, according to data from the Tarrant County Medical Examiner. At least 112 young people under the age of 18 have died from gun violence since 2016, the equivalent to 4 to 5 classrooms of children, the Fort Worth Star-Telegram reported this spring. Just last year, 30 young people up to 18 years old were shot and killed in Tarrant County, the most in at least 10 years. These tragic situations have no discrimination for anyone, and focusing on bringing awareness so that the necessary changes can be made is truly significant. I would like to say again, rest in peace to Rayshard Scott, age 5, and Jamarian Monroe, age 17, sending condolences, prayers, and healing energy to the family and friends in this tragic situation. If you find this information helpful and would like to continue the movement of spreading awareness, please join the family by clicking the like and subscribe button. Also leave a comment and let me know what you would do best to prevent this situation. New videos on the way each week. with more details and stories behind situations that happen every day all around us. Always remember, on your bad days, someone is always going through something worse, and the best medicine of all is time to heal. Thank you everyone for the likes, comment, and support. I'll see you all in the next video.
But when you have children who are murdered completely senselessly, it adds just another level to that tragedy we're all experiencing. I mean, I think of a 17-year-old who should be looking at his senior year, graduating and starting his life. I think of a 5-year-old who should be starting kindergarten, just starting his career in school, and an 18-month-old who is just starting his life. The 17-year-old will never graduate. That 5-year-old will never graduate from kindergarten. That 18-month-old will have physical and emotional scars, and they stay with him the rest of his life. And I can tell you this much: Ford Police Department is going to put every resource necessary to this investigation to do everything we can to bring those responsible to justice as soon as possible. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Chief, are all three victims siblings, and did all three live specifically in this home?
Great question. There's a potential that they are related, and so we're still trying to determine exactly how, and I cannot tell you exactly the residence of the victims yet. That's part of our investigation.
Any indication on, I mean, I know it's early, but what led to this? We heard someone, you know, we haven't reported this, but a question to you, we heard this from someone in the neighborhood that could be potentially gang related. Any truth to that? Any looking into that at all?
Very legitimate question. That is definitely one of the things we're looking into. Being it's early in the investigation, we cannot say if it's gang related or not, but that's definitely something we will be looking into.
And one thing that a witness told us is that people who drove up, who were taking part in the shooting, they got out wearing ski masks. Is that anything you can talk to as far as description of the people? Were they wearing masks?
Not at this point, but that's a great question because it brings up the importance of anyone who may have any video evidence, a ring style camera, who may have caught anything from this tragic incident. Please share it because it'll help us be able to determine if that happened.
Police say a 17-year-old and a 5-year-old were shot in a front yard in a neighborhood. An 18-month-old has minor injuries. Fox 4's David Santendry just got an update from police. David?
Yeah, Blake, shattering news for this neighborhood as the chief of police just provided that update to us within the past 10 or 15 minutes. Again, want to reiterate, he told us that a 17-year-old boy and a 5-year-old boy were both shot and killed outside of this home that you see behind me, the blue home where you see some police officers talking right next to that white vehicle. Also, we know that 18-month-old boy was injured. We don't know the extent of those injuries, just told minor injuries at this point in time. So the obvious question for many in this neighborhood is what led up to this? Well, right now what police are saying they know at this point in time is that there was at least one vehicle that rolled up on this house earlier this afternoon. That was around 2:13 p.m. Some people got out of that vehicle and they just started shooting at this home, and specifically people who were in the front yard of the home at the time, including those three victims. We don't know if there was anyone else with them at the time outside. We also don't know how many people in total were at the house at the time. Again, this is just preliminary information that's coming in. I did ask the chief, are these three people who were shot, these three victims, the two who were killed and the one who has minor injury, are they related to each other? Were they all residents of this home? They did not disclose that information.